Cenat is back on top. AI finally being used for good.
Universal real-time translation tool.
And the age-old debate has returned. Starting off today, and as you've gotten used to, it's about Cenat, but you can't not talk about the guy because he's currently doing his second ever subathon, Mafiathon 2, that started on the beginning of November. So it's been going on for 2 weeks now at the time of recording this, and he's officially regained his title as the most subscribed Twitch streamer of all time. Of course, this subathon was sparked by Iron Mouse, a VTuber who did a subathon themselves, and it beat Cenat's record that he made previously in his first ever subathon. But this time, he's come back and he's regained that title. At the moment, at the time of recording this, he has over 360,000 Twitch subscribers. You can do the maths. You pay £5, $5 for a sub. You can do the maths of how much money he's made from that. Because you can only imagine, he's definitely not on a 50-50 deal with Twitch. He's on probably like an 80-20 just to make sure that he stays on the platform. So yeah, it is quite literally crazy, the amount of people that are subscribed to this guy. I think because he was rallying the troops, because it was a whole thing of we're going to regain the top spot, it has been a bit more of a surge than before, and that's why he's beaten this record in just 2 weeks of doing this subathon. It's going to go on for many, many more days, I can imagine, and some people are theorizing that he could go on to hit 1 million subscribers, which I think is pushing it a little bit.
I bet he'd make it to 1 million. How much you want to bet? He hasn't even done the whole month yet.
One thing I want to add though is, again, you compare the two subathons. One, the Mafiathon 1, Mafiathon 2, is very different, I feel like, from the clips I've seen of it. I feel like he's not done as much different stuff. Everything I've seen is in the same room. However, he's got just every celeb under the sun basically just getting in there. Snoop Dogg, Serena Williams is going to be doing a bit for him because it's like to do with his McDonald's partnership. Just loads of rappers, loads of people coming on in, with that star power, bringing in more people that will continue to sub, and it's just continued that traction, which I think he's done more this time than he did last time. But just to compare it to Iron Mouse once again, this person is just a VTuber. They were singing songs, they were playing games, like they didn't really do anything similar to that, but they still managed to beat Cenat's initial subathon record, which I think is just an absolute crazy accomplishment. But as I said, Cenat was not going to wait around and lose that sub record. He's come back, and people are saying he can get more and more and more. It's gonna be absolutely unreal what number he ends up with. But fair play. One of the reasons that I think it's happened a lot quicker this time around is because this time around, every time he's asleep during the night, he's got the NPC Miles Morales. If you're on TikTok, you know when that NPC trend came through. If you don't know, it was when they did TikTok lives and they responded to every gift, which is a monetary gain from somebody gifting it as a viewer. They would reply with it with a automatic response. Everything had a response. So Cenat's gotten him to come into the streams while he's asleep to basically just play the character that he does on his TikTok lives. I'm sure he's getting a hefty fee because obviously he can't be doing his own content in this time, and also just the absolute eyeballs on him will boost his traction and his following and things. So it's a great move for him. But during the night, while Cenat's asleep, he's out there saying thank you for the gifted subs in the way that he does it in his TikTok lives, which I think is a smart move from Cenat, and that's why it's happened so quickly that he's reached and broken the record.
What's up, Mike? It's nice to see you. Things just up. If you want, you can take on your next mission.
I need to reiterate, 2 weeks, 360,000 plus subscribers. That is that's doolally. That doesn't make sense, man. I get subscribing to streamers and stuff and gifting subs to streamers. I get that. But when they're that big, it's like, oh, you're on 360,122. I'm going to make you get to 3,600, That's like 40 subs, 30 subs or whatever that is. So that's like over $100. But in the grand scheme of things, it makes no difference to his total. But it doesn't matter, clearly. People are doing it in their bucket loads. It's going to be very interesting to see what the final total is in the next few weeks. And I'll be sure to let you know in Floppy Findings. Moving on to the second story. This is a bit late from me. This is something that came out probably like 2 weeks ago. But it's about Quackity, a very popular Minecraft content creator who's created their very own AI tool. Something that I think is actually something good for once that I'm talking about AI. Instead of the doom and gloom that I have spoken about many times before in Floppy Findings. But what this tool is a universal real-time translation tool. Okay, you might have heard of these things before, but it looks like it works seamlessly. Like he shows it in a video that I'll show you here.
Talk to you and we can understand each other too.
すごいな、本当にずっと喋りたかったから嬉しいよ。
This is so cool. So what are your thoughts? What are your thoughts on this?
これ最高だね。なんかリアルタイムでラグが少ないからすごい話しやすい。
He had a Minecraft server where he had like live text translation, so if they typed something in, it would come up in the language that you could read and understand. But this is a level above, you know, it's not text, it's literally spoken word. Like, really, really cool. I just wanted to bring that up. It's just like AI can actually be used for good things, not just you know, dystopian things like AI girlfriends and AI best friends that makes people, you know, this is a way actually AI is being used to connect more people rather than, you know, kind of make us distance and, you know, be more recluse than ever before. So I think it's a really, really cool new thing there. Yeah, I thought that was really cool. I just wanted to talk about that, but let's go into the best thing that I found this week.
Floppy's finding of the week. Floppy's finding of the week.
To end on today, it's a conversation we had a few months ago in Floppy Findings. It's when Hassan said that streaming is a lot harder than a regular 9 to 5. And I'm very intrigued about the veracity that this sort of conversation gets out from people. People just hate it when streamers say this. I mean, it's come up again, as I just said. It's recently been spoken about on Twitter or on Twitch streams and things like that. And I find it really interesting because, you know, the conversation is coming from, you know, different perspectives. Person that streams and person that doesn't stream. Person that works regular 9 to 5, person that streams for their full-time work, okay? The person that works the 9 to 5 probably has never streamed in their life. And they claim that the majority of the streamers have never worked a 9 to 5 in their life. It's like a back and forth of like, you know, you don't know what it's like. But there are a lot of full-time content creator streamers that did work 9 to 5s. And I think there is an interesting conversation to have that, you know, the main debate at the end of the day at work, you can switch off and you can remove yourself from that work. Whereas you're putting yourself in a public space in this realm, in the streaming world, and you can't disconnect from it. That's like the conversation that's being had. You know, you're always on. You've always got to be thinking. You've always got to be streaming. You've always got that attention on you. The backlash, the negativity, you know, all that sort of stuff. I mean, I don't really have an opinion, but if you don't know, I do stream on Twitch as well and do content. If you're watching here, make sure you subscribe. I'd really appreciate it. Let me know in the comments down below, what do you think of the 9 to 5 debate? Is streaming harder? It's not like, you can't generalize at the end of the day. You know, there's probably many 9 to 5 jobs that are easier than streaming. There's probably many 9 to 5 jobs that are harder than streaming. Do you know what I mean? There's no right or wrong answer there. But it's a very like reoccurring conversation that comes up many times and just brings out just very much anger, much anger. I don't think people really take into consideration the streamers that aren't the top 0.1% and the big streamers here, you know, that still have 100 viewers, 200, 300, 400, 500 viewers that put in a lot of work just to maintain that, you know, ones that you've never heard of, but they still do it full time. You know, I'm not there yet. I'd love to be there one day, and I can do if you support my content. So make sure you drop a sub. I'd really appreciate it. Click the link in the bio, come through to my Discord and check out the other content as well. Thanks for coming on through to another video, and I'll see you when I see you.